In this video, we are going to see how to compute transitive closure for a given graph using Warshall's algorithm. First, we'll see what is transitive closure. So, that is transitive closure is nothing but given an unweighted graph. We will not be having weight in the edges of the graph. So, given such a graph, we are going to find the possibility of reaching the every other vertices from a given vertices, right? So, if there exists any such path from one vertex to the other vertex, then we'll place 1 in the corresponding cell. If we could not, then we'll be placing 0 in the respective cells, right? So this example illustrates the difference between the adjacency matrix representation and the transitive closure of the given graph. See, in the adjacency matrix representation, see, we know that in the adjacency dimension of the adjacency matrix representation is n cross n, where n is the number of vertices present in the graph, right? So here in adjacency matrix representation, we'll place 1 only if there is any direct edge from that particular vertex to the other vertex, right? If there is no direct edge, then we'll be placing 0 in the respective cell. But in case of transitive closure, we'll be placing 1 if there is no direct path, but we could reach. For example, when we take the vertex 2, from vertex 2 we could reach 3. Though there is no direct edge, we could reach 3 through the vertex 1, right? Hence 1 is placed. Similarly, from 4, there is no direct edge. See, in this graph, there is no direct edge to reach the vertex 1. But keeping intermediate, that is vertex 2 as the intermediate vertex, we could reach 1. Similarly, I could also from vertex 4, I could reach through vertex 2, 1, I could reach 3, right? So that is, so in the respective cells, it is placed as 1. This is the basic difference between the transitive closure of a graph and the adjacency matrix of a graph. So the input, the initial condition for this graph will be the adjacency matrix of the graph will be taken, and that matrix representation will be improved further until we consider all the vertices in the graph as the intermediate vertex, right? So this is the logic. So we are going to construct a transitive closure starting from r power 0 to r power n, where n is the number of vertices present in the graph, right? So r power 0 here represents the adjacency matrix representation, a matrix representation which does not involve any intermediate vertices. Otherwise, you can call R power 0 is either an adjacency matrix or a matrix which does not involve any intermediate vertices, right? So here say R power k, we say it is 1 if and only if there is non-trivial path from I to j. Okay, so we'll be placing 1 if there exists a non-trivial path, in the sense if there is no direct edge, then we'll try to find a path which leads from the source vertex to the destination vertex. So if you could find the path, since this is an unweighted graph, so instead of specifying the weight, we'll be specifying 1, indicating that there is a path from the source vertex to the that destination vertex, right? So, so this is the formula. So the formula, what it says to us, R power k ij, right, is equal to r k minus 1 ij. What does it mean? See, considering when I say k, it means k number of intermediate vertices. Numbering the vertices from 1 to some n, we can consider among those n number of vertices, we can consider ak vertices, right? So if there is a direct path from I to j without this intermediate vertex, or we can make use of this as an intermediate vertex and we'll try to find a path. So either way, we'll check. If there is a direct edge, no problem, we'll place 1. If there is no direct edge, then we'll try to have this k as an intermediate vertex and we'll try to find any path. Okay. So this is the rule which we take it from this formula. If an element in row I and column j is 1, in R power k minus 1, it remains 1 in R power k. So if already that cell is 1, then okay, fine. And in the next iteration, it remains as 1. Else, if an element in row I and column j is 0 in R k minus 1, in the previous iteration, if it is 0, then it has to be changed to 1 in R power k, if and only if the element in its row I and column k and the element in its j and row k are both ones in R. Which means that now we make use of k as an intermediate vertex and we try to find a path from the vertex I to j. We'll look these things with an example. We'll take the same graph which we saw earlier. So we have to apply the formula. So either you can apply the formula to compute this answer or else directly you can take it. As I already told, the input for this transitive closure is nothing but the adjacency matrix of the graph, right? So we have taken the adjacency matrix of a graph as told. The dimension of the adjacency matrix is n cross n, where n is the number of vertices present in the graph. Here how many vertices are there? 4 vertices are there. Hence the dimension of the matrix becomes 4 cross 4. So in adjacency matrix we will be placing 1 if there is only direct edge, right? So from 1 to 3 we have a direct edge. So from 1 to 3 we have 1, right? Similarly from 2 to 1 we have 1. So that is direct edge, hence placed 1. Then 2 to 4 we have direct edge 1. So from 3 there is no outgoing edge. So by sure you will be having all zeros. From 4 we have direct edge only to the vertex 2, hence placed 1 in the respective cell. Right? So this is the adjacency matrix which will be taken as the input for the further iteration. Now we go for the next iteration, k is equal to 1. So what does it mean? Now I can update the adjacency matrix, that is R bar 0 now can be updated by keeping 1 as an intermediate vertex. Okay. So now I try to improve the path, that is I try to find path between two vertices by including 1 as an intermediate vertex. Right. So now we'll check into this graph. It is very simple. See, from 1, okay, from 2 through 1 I can reach 3, right? So I can keep the here when I say R power 1 we can have only 1 as an intermediate vertex. Okay, so I can update this. See, it is updated. So 2, the vertex 2 can reach vertex 3, hence the value 1 is placed here. What about the remaining 4? The vertex 4, it could also reach 3, but not only 1 is the intermediate vertex, it must also consider 2 also as an intermediate vertex, right? So this cannot be accepted because in R power 1 we can consider only 1 as an intermediate vertex. So that's it, no more updation. Now we go for the next iteration, say k is equal to 2. Now I can include 2 also as an intermediate vertex, right? See, when I include 2 as an intermediate vertex, what are the updations? From 4 I could reach 3, right? Because already there is a path. From 2 to 3 there is already a path. 4 to 2 now there is a path. So combining these two we'll get 1. Okay. So since this Warshall algorithm is using dynamic programming, that is it reuses the values of the previous iteration, right? Now from 4 I could also reach 4 again through by keeping 2 as an intermediate vertex. How? From 4 I could reach 2 again, from 2 I could reach the vertex 4. So hence those values are getting updated here, right? So from 4 now I could reach vertex 1 keeping 2 as an intermediate. Similarly from 4 I could reach 3 by keeping 2 as an intermediate vertex. Why this is possible? Because already we have 1, right? From 2 to 3 we have a path, right? Now from 4 to we have a path. 4 to 2 there is a path. So according to the formula, either already it has to be 1 or those two intermediate, that is involving those intermediate vertex. If those values are 1, I can set this value as 1. So accordingly it was set as 1. So this is the updated matrix, right? So now R bar 3, what does it mean? Now I can include 3 also as an intermediate vertex. So now we will see what values can be updated. See, from 3, what is the problem? We don't have any intermediate vertices, right? So there is no change, I hope. See, since there is no outgoing, from vertex 3, there is no outgoing edge. So hence that it is not possible for me to find and it is not possible for me to reach any of the other vertices present in the graph, right? So it is going to remain as 0. It is easily predictable. Why? Because there is no outgoing edge from vertex 3. Now this is an equivalent matrix representation of those things consolidated. Okay, so this is the answer which we are getting after each iteration. So this is our algorithm. See here, the formula, the same formula is repeated. Either it must have a value from the previous iteration, or for this iteration, if those two cells, what are the cells, ik and kj are 1, now I can set the value as 1. How many times it has to be repeated? For n times, where n is the number of vertices present in the graph. So the complexity becomes theta of n power 3, because there are 3 for loops where the upper bound of each for loop is n, right? So thus we are able to compute transitive closure for the given graph using Warshall's algorithm.